So Baruch Hashem, we have tonight the class for the entire community, men and women. So we speak about a little bit the laws of Brachot, and then we're going to go to the education of kids. I prepared something very interesting for the education of kids as well. So quickly about the Brachot. So about the Brachot, if a person said on rice, Sephardic opinion is doesn't matter what rice situation it is. If it is mushi or if it is one by one. In both cases, according to the Sephardic opinion, we always say, Borei, mine mezono. Ashkenazim say it depends. If it is mushi, it's mezonot. If it is one by one, it's ha'adama. This Ashkenazic opinion. Why am I telling you all the time the Ashkenazic opinion? Because your kids go to Ashkenazi yeshiva. I know most of the time. So over there, they teach them Ashkenazi way. When they come home, they tell you, Abba, I learned, Mama, I learned this Adama. Why you say Mezorot?
But you know something, Rabbi? That today they I don't know if you call it respect or I went to my son Mishnah, they gave Mishnah, they start learning, so they get pizza. The rabbi announced, whoever Sephardic, go do Netilah. But I was so impressed, like very nice.
Yeah, so the rice, therefore, for Ashkenazim, if it's one by one, it's Adama. If it's Mushi, like Shola, like Kosovo, it's Borim Minem. Is this clear? Now, Bracha after, if you ate kazait of cookies and you ate also rice, since you have obligation of Al Mechiyah, this Al Mechiyah covers the Borim Nefashot of the rice. Got it?
Yeah.
Very good. Okay. If you have more, now puffed rice. Puffed rice.
The rice cakes.
Oh, puffed rice. You should know, it's not cooked at all. It's as is. The rice. It goes air pressure. Boom, boom. It becomes and then they pressing it and make your cakes like that, and you get your rice cakes. So because there is no cooking at all to that, we don't say mezonot because mezonot is whenever it's overcooked. Remember? Here it's not cooked at all. So we don't even have a way to say on this rice, borei mine mezonot, on the rice cake.
It's only in the opinion.
It's 100% Adama. Wow. Therefore, if a person ate rice cakes, bracha, miskachlon, what bracha should you say on the rice cakes? Borei, peri, Adama.
גם על הקורן קייק, קורן בטוח.
Corn cake, rice, if it's puffed, I don't know how to make corn cake.
Corn cake,
I think those are puffed.
And if you eat with cookies and rice cake together, you would say Alamite and Borei.
No.
Still no?
No.
Go ahead.
Because rice is something satiates. So Al Mechiyah will cover that. Better is that if you ate chicken also with rice, you didn't just eat rice. You ate something with that, so you also said Borei Nefashot on the chicken at the end. If you ate 1 ounce of the chicken also. Remember, Rabotai, all the time when you say bracha after, you have to say the bracha after only if you ate 1 ounce of the item. Sometimes you don't eat 1 ounce of the item. Sometimes, let's say you ate a cookie, you ate a mezonot something, and you add a little bit of tomato. So that's a little bit of tomato, it's not 1 ounce. At the beginning, it'll be a little bit difficult for people to get used to what is an ounce, what's not an ounce. But after you get hang of it, it's already simple.
That's why I have a pack of cookies to make sure I have all opinions.
Yeah.
It's this.
Yeah. So, this Rabotai, as far as this part of the shiur. If you have more questions, please, in the upcoming Shabbat, you all know what to do as far as Chanukah? Huh? So, let's just recap quickly. In the upcoming Shabbat, it's going to be early mincha for the men. They announced at 2 p.m. we're going to have mincha here. Then the men are going to go home, help the wives, and prepare for Chanukah candles. Chanukah candles, Asaf, supposed to be lit first. The earliest you can light Chanukah candles, it's Flag HaMincha,
3:30.
which is 3:30.
We come back from Mincha, this the best time.
No. You come back from Mincha at 2:20, 2:30.
Oh, you said right quick.
I gave you 1 hour so you can help your wives. Then at 3:30, they can help, to know what to do. So at 3:30, the earliest time for Plag HaMincha. You're gonna light it over there.
Yeah.
So before we come to shoot, good. Not for the Mincha, for Kabbalat Shabbat.
Ken.
Okay.
After you light the candles of the Chanukah, Rabotai, now you have to be careful. You remember, we spoke about a few times, that whenever women light the Shabbat candles, electricity is supposed to be off. Why? Because you should not have extra light next to the Shabbat candles, right? Problem is right now, what happens when you have Chanukah candles? If you put the Chanukah candles in the same room that you're going to light the Shabbat candles, so you have light from the Chanukah candles, so it's extra light. What are you going to turn them off? The electricity you're going to turn off. And what are you going to do with this?
Put it away, put it in the bay window.
So says Ravadia, the best will be is that if you light the Chanukah candles in one place, or the Shabbat candles in different place, different rooms. That will be the best. But what if it's impossible? Different place, there's kids, there's danger, it can fall, it can cause a fire hazard. What are you going to do then? Says Ravadia, you can light the Chanukah candles without the shamash. What's the, out of the candles we have in the Chanukah, which one is the one you're allowed to use? Only the shamash candle. Right? אין לנו רשות להשתמש בהם, אלא לראותם בלבד. So since you have no permission to use the Chanukah candles, therefore it's not considered to be as a benefit. The electricity I can use. So since I can use, it's considered to be as a light. I have to turn it off before I light the Shabbat candles. But the Chanukah candles I have no permission to use. So since I have no permission to use, it's not here.
But it's a fact, it's giving light.
True, but they're giving light that I'm not allowed to benefit from it. אין לנו רשות להשתמש בהם, אלא לראותם בלבד. Because of that, says Ravadia, it's allowed to light Chanukah candles without the shamash. Then light the Shabbat candles whenever the electricity is off. Said ברכה להדליק נר חנוכה, להדליק נר של Shabbat, and then she turns on the electricity like every Shabbat. So first it's Chanukah, Avi, אחר כך Shabbat candles. This is the order on the upcoming Friday afternoon. On Friday, the Birkat Hamazon is going to be very long because you're going to have the Birkat Hamazon section of
Chanukah, Rosh Chodesh, v'Shabbat.
Oh, this Friday night is going to be Rosh Chodesh. So you have to pay attention not to miss any of them.
Today is Rosh Chodesh?
No, Friday night is going to be Rosh Chodesh. So on the Birkat Hamazon, it's supposed to be at the section for Rosh Chodesh, for Shabbat, and also for Al Nisim or Chanukah. It's the longest Birkat Hamazon. And if you're a guest, you read the entire Birkat Hamazon. Birkat HaOreach also. So it's the longest Birkat Hamazon this upcoming week. For Friday night, Shabbat morning, Motzai Shabbat. It's 2 days Rosh Chodesh. Friday night starts Shabbat, and Shabbat goes to Sunday and Sunday also. So it's 2 full days of Rosh Chodesh.
Friday night עד יום ראשון
Saturday night.
בערב.
Exactly.
עד הגמר.
Exactly. It's a long Rosh Chodesh.
סוף שבוע.
Sof Shavua is good, yeah? It's simple. This as far as the upcoming Shabbat. As far as Sufganiot, women ask many times, they like to have the Sufganiot hot.
אבי, לא עשית לנו סופגניות, מה יהיה?
אני נראה כמו סופגניה, אני מצטער. נשים לי ריבה על הראש, אבל דחוף אותי החוצה, תגלגל אותי.
קונדיטור, הרב.
אני לא קונדיטור, אני שמן. מספיק לנו סופגניה.
So, to Sufgania, sometimes women ask if they want to reheat it. They want to make them hot. She bought it on Thursday at the shopping place, but she put it in the refrigerator, it's cold. She want to keep it hot. Put it on the Shabbat table, Friday night table, hot. Now question is, can she put that Sufgania on top of the plata? On Shabbat?
Say yes.
David, what do you say?
We're allowed.
On the plata itself?
On the plata.
Or on something on the
The issue
plata?
is
No, something. There is a
Clear
foil.
one.
A clear foil, and then she puts the
Where's the issue?
the plata.
The issue is the cream, I
The
think.
Sufgania on top of the plata.
אין אפייה, אין אפייה.
Liquid.
The issue is the
So we have a rule. That's the question. Could you, if you want to reheat them,
It's
are you
ribbon
allowed?
inside.
Yeah,
It's,
you're not cooking it, you just want
The jelly inside.
Oh.
the jelly.
Now, if you remember, on Shabbat we cannot reheat liquids like soup.
Right.
So what do we go over here? After the dry sufgania donut, or do we go after the liquid that is inside the donut?
פיאמן זה הסופגניה.
You're not intending for the liquid to get hot.
So says Rav Ovadia. Oh, good point. Says Rav Ovadia, bottom line, it's allowed to put the sufgania on top of the plata
זה
b'Shabbat.
גם לא ניחא כי אתה
Why?
לא רוצה שזה יהיה חם לסוף הטפה.
That's another reason also. But other rabbis say you have to be careful that there is a trick that the konditur you do, the bakeries do. What's the trick? It says some of them don't put the real jelly inside. What they do, they mix it with water.
It will be easy to squeeze in.
Right. Sometimes it's because of reasons of finance. It costs them less.
Save.
They saves. And sometimes it's because, as you say, it's too hard and stuck. You put water.
You have to.
If they put water, then you cannot follow the majority anymore. When do we follow the majority? When a woman wants to reheat fish that has a little bit sauce around. So since that sauce was already cooked, the rotev hazeh bashel. You go for the majority's fish, even if you have a little bit liquid, beseder. Whenever you have the majority dry, and you have liquid that it's a little bit, but it was not cooked. I'll give you an example. Let's say right now your wife wants to reheat fish b'Shabbat, but the fish is dry. It needs some liquid. You know, sometimes when you reheat things, you put a little bit of water in there.
Yeah.
For the water to warm up the thing, to make it a little bit more juicy, moisty, whatever you call it. Moisty. You make it to be not so dry. So on Shabbat, can a woman say, Rabbi, you told us last time, follow the majority. If I have majority dry, minority liquid, I'm fine. Says Rabbi, that's also that's only you find when the majority is dry and the minority is liquid that was already cooked once. Like you have a sauce of the fish, dagim harotev. So the rotev was cooked, the fish was cooked, you follow the majority. But if you have minority that was not cooked, over here you cannot follow the majority because that minority liquid is going to get cooked b'Shabbat, mevashel b'Shabbat, mechalel Shabbat.
I don't know what they did with the riba before.
So if you don't know, you can be lenient. We're talking when you know. And in Israel they say, how are you going to know? It says whenever the riba is red, it's the real deal. So whenever it's pinkish,
Today they sell
water.
it ready for, it's more liquid because it's ready for this time. It's not riba to spread.
It's riba to inject.
They sell it ready. Yeah.
And you don't need to add water already.
No, it's come more liquidy, especially for these purposes to filling and stuff
Good,
like this.
very good.
Ah,
So if you don't know what sufgania you had in front of you, you don't have to worry about it. But in case you know, the bakery, Avi tells you the secret of the company, what they do. In case they know, you know that there is a real water inside there in the mixture, don't reheat them on Shabbat because you can recook this a little bit liquid. It's a problem. But majority of the bakeries doesn't do this water. They buy it ready, as Avi says, they inject it, and that's it. You have no problem. If you don't know which bakery you're buying from, don't worry about it. It's also mutar because you have safek sveka to rely on. Bottom line, it is allowed. That's as far as this upcoming Shabbat. As far as what bracha should you say on the sufgania during Chanukah is mezonot. But what if you're sitting in the meal? Like Friday night, you're gonna sit in the meal, right? Kiddush. You're gonna sit the kiddush, the meal, the salad, the fish, the meat, and then dessert table. Sometimes they bring sufganiot. Should you say on this borei minei mezonot or no? Says Rav Ovadia Yosef, in order for you to say mezonot during the meal, during Seudah, you need to have 3 conditions. What are the conditions, Avidov? Remember?
Crispy.
It has to be crispy, sweet, and filled. So the sufgania has 2 conditions. It's sweet, it's filled, but it's not crispy. So that's why you cannot say bracha on the sufgania during the Seudah. When could you? After you do Mayim Acharonim, do Birkat Hamazon. After Birkat Hamazon, you take out the sufgania and you're going to say Borei Minei Mezonot before, and you're going to say Ala Mechia after. Even if you eat a lot of sufganiot, bracha after is always Ala Mechia. Like this, you got more brachot. On Shabbat, we on Shabbat need 100 blessings.
Yeah.
So like this, you're gonna get more. That's always, Avi. It's good to bring the dessert after Birkat Hamazon.
Yeah.
This is going to be always the best solution.
Also, the kids not gonna want from the table. They will do that Amazon after.
That's also true. Yeah, that's also a good reason to do it.
So now you have to, now they're tired already, they go to the living room, they
Yeah.
want to come back.
Nachon, you're in the risk of losing it. Like this, they have incentive.
Exactly.
Say Birkat Hamazon.
Dessert, the
Yeah.
Amazon.
Now I'll tell you another important rule, that whenever there is 2 adults and a boy above 6 years old, you can make zimun. Remember, in your house we did zimun with your child, even though it's not bar mitzvah. 2 adults and a boy.
Yes,
one.
aware.
He has to be aware. Answer. Baruch
Can
she'achal
be
mishelo
two
k'tuvo chaim. But
Can be 2 boys.
no, 2 adults at least
2 adults.
and 1 boy. But if it's 1 adult and 2 boys, not allowed. Has to be at least majority of the 3 has to be men, grown-ups. Follow the majority is 2 men and 1 child is also good. But the chidush is, even if there are 3 women, let's say there's a mother, there's a daughter, and there is a young daughter less than bat mitzvah. So you also have over here 3. You have 2 adults, women, and 1 child, girl. This halacha says also women can then make the zimun. They can say nevarech, and the men can answer. Yeah, in my house happens a lot of times.
But
My wife, together with my mother-in-law and my daughter, many times to do the
You can
zimun.
mix.
I answer them. They say nevarech shachanu mishalo. I answer baruch shachanu
But
mishalo.
they have to do it, or it's an option?
It's a mitzvah. The Zohar HaKadosh says whenever you
For
say
women?
the zimun, Zohar brings zimun for women. Interesting. The Zohar says whenever you do zimun, you remove the evil powers from the table.
You remove the evil power from the table.
So, but you
That's
can
it.
go
It's
man,
good
a
to
woman,
know.
and a little kid.
הרב תראה איך הוא מאושר, הוא שומע חידושים.
כן,
זה אושר.
כן. ברוך השם.
עכשיו אני אעשה את זה.
יש גברים שהולכים לקזינו מקבלים אושר, הוא בא ללמוד תורה מקבל אושר. זכית, זכית בבעל כזה, שהוא מאושר בחידושי תורה.
קשה לו כשאתה
Today-
מכיר, אבל כשאתה מחדש לו.
Today somebody called. What was today? Today a woman called me. Rabbi, I don't know what to do. What? My husband, Rabbi, I caught him doing Isurim. I don't want to say details, there's kids. Rabbi, what should I do? Hayom bekolot ishmael. So whenever we have a little bit of, whenever I hear things that other people go through, it gives me chizuk. I say, Baruch Hashem, that I don't have those tests. So whenever you hear, and I'm sure you heard a lot of your friends, cousins, relatives, neighbors, partners, co-workers, people you know, that they have a tough husbands, and people you know have a tough wives. So Baruch Hashem, anytime you have a little bit challenge about the other partner in your life, with your husband or wife, always remember the stories. What others are going through with their wife, what others are going through with their husbands. And like this, right away say, wow, Hashem, what a good husband you gave me. Wow, Hashem, what a good wife you gave me. And like this, you're always going to keep your mood in a happy mode. And whenever you are happy, you can grow kids that they are happy. Whenever the wife a little bit tension about her situation in life, or the husband is a little bit tension about his situation in life, have no patience for the kids already. Because already tensed up with so much pressure from life, that whenever the child does something, they blow up, the kids, chas v'shalom, grow up with traumot. Why? Because one of them is not happy. That's Rabotai. One most important factor for kids' education is that the parent is happy. And happy is always whenever you see how good you have life. The more you're going to appreciate how good you have, the happier you will be, the healthier kids you will have. They will not have problems in their future of lacking patience or beating up. They see the father doesn't know how to talk. The father said one time, he didn't hear, second time it's shapalot. Second time it's babashke, gives on the head. So he says the same thing. When my friend in school doesn't listen to me, one time I told him, he says, second time it's a chair. What's the problem? Where did he learn it from? From the parents. So what's the reason the parents are so edged up? Because they don't realize how much good they had in life. Not the wife or not the husband. So if you every time you feel a little bit pressure in life, always is the reason, not because of your bad life, is because of your bad perspective about your life. That's important to remember that. It's not that your wife and your husband is going to make your life happier, it's your perspective about the second half is going to make your life happier. You're not going to change your life. You're going to change only your perspective about life. Yeah. There was one time a rabbi said an interesting chidush. He said that your life is like an airplane. You never know when you're going to take off, and you never know whenever you're going to land. He says the only thing that's in your hands is what you're going to do whenever you're in the airplane. He says you're coming to the airplane, it's scheduled for 10 o'clock. There's a guarantee you're going to come out at 10 o'clock? No. He says same thing is when a person comes down to the world. They never ask you if you're going to come down to the world or not. It's you're coming to the world. It says that's the takeoff from the Olam Haba. You took off to Olam Hazeh. And where are you going to go back, to land back in the Olam Haba? That's also you never know. It's not in your hands neither. The only thing is in your hands is what you do whenever you're in the airplane. So this is life. Like a matos, like an airplane.